Hello guys, welcome to the stream. It's Hydrocar and we are here with a slightly different stream, but I'm very excited for this one. Yes, we are about to rank all 151 Gen 1 Pokemon, the generation of Pokemon that I know best, the one that I have been following since I was about 9-10 years old. So I'm very excited for this one, and I just love watching ranking videos, so I thought let's try and make something that I love to watch, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Manchester City excited for the live. Well, I'm very glad that you've come back. Thank you so much. Wackadoo, very excited for the stream. I think I know what will be at the top. Very curious about the bottom. You know, there's maybe a little bit of a spoiler in the background here of what's going to make my top here, but I'm actually quite excited to see what hits the bottom as well, because honestly I've been actually racking my brain and trying to decide on actually just how to rank these Pokemon and how to actually do the rankings, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Been waiting for this one, Kelpie. I've been excited for this one. Glad you're here for it. And hello Andrew, that Andrew guy, welcome in. And yes, thank you so much guys for all joining us. Hopefully, as I said, you guys enjoy. Also, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Obviously, we've all got our own opinions, and I think that's the beauty of these rankings. As long as we keep it civil, and I don't really mind if you guys disagree. So first of all, what I need to decide though is exactly how I'm ranking these Pokemon, because obviously, depending on how we're ranking it, depends on where the Pokemon go. So I was thinking of ranking it Pokemon that are most likely to be in my top 6, like in my final 6 for a team, as well as my favourite aesthetic, so how they look, and then just overall how much I've liked the Pokemon since Gen 1. So kind of a few different things in there, kind of melding them in together and deciding what would reach the top. I think we'll just go in order as well of what they're here, so I can kind of just show you guys here. That is, just scroll down there so you can just see that all 151. There's a few different versions of a few of the different Pokemons. Obviously, I think the popular ones. So there's a few versions of Venusaur, of Charizard, Blastoise. I mean, there's a different version of Pidgeot there. We have a different Gengar. I think that's Mega Gengar. I believe that's what that is. There's a different. Oh, Pinsir looks really cool there. Different Mewtwo, Aerodactyl, Gyarados. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to the original sprites for the 151, so it's just 151, and then at the end maybe I'll just stick the other just by aesthetic for the other, the different kinds. Yes, Wackadoo, we'll finally see Mr. Mime on a stream. It's finally going to happen. Some of the old Gen 1 Pokemon sprites kind of suck. Yeah. They've definitely improved on the sprites, especially the red and blue sprites. When you have them, seen them from the back and how they look, Squirtle is always a standout for me when I think about it. The Pikachu as well. Thank you for all the votes in the poll as well. Hopefully this goes well, this stream. And if it does, then we can do some more rankings in the future. Please remember to hit that like button for us as well if you haven't already. The more likes, hopefully the more people it reaches. And yeah, I think without further ado, we kind of just get started. So we'll just start with Pokemon number 1. Now, I was also kind of thinking about this today, and over the last few days, Pokemon doesn't really have an easy and then a normal difficulty, then a hard difficulty, but I think they've done it through their starters. So I think Bulbasaur, if you play the original games, he's the easy mode. Charmander is your hard mode, and Squirtle is your medium, is your normal mode. So if you want to play it easy, you pick Bulbasaur, because he takes out Brock and he takes out Misty, and he's not got any weaknesses to LT Surge. So your first 3 gyms are pretty straightforward, let's be honest. And then in that time you've got enough time to level up other Pokemon. Charmander, terrible for Brock, even worse for Misty. Not great for LT Surge. He's not weak or anything to LT Surge, but he's not like the best for it. I think it's only the 4th gym where he starts to become super useful. That's why I think he's like the hard mode if you're picking Charmander, which is what my brother John used to always do. Is Charmander was always, I think a lot of people are Charmander would be a lot of people's first pick in terms of how he looks. And then Squirtle is kind of your in the middle. Great for Brock. He's great for Misty as well because not super Misty's weak against Squirtle, but then obviously Squirtle's quite weak against Misty, and then he's terrible for against LT Surge. Stick Jinx in S tier to get that out of the way, and then go from there. Just start with Jinx straight into S tier. I'm excited to see what you guys think when I get to these. I generally am. What you think? So S tier I'm going to save for absolute favourites. My absolute favourites, and the ones that they would 100% get into my top 6 team without question. Like, I wouldn't even question it if someone said, here's your 6, and then these were the 6. There might also be more than 6 in the S tier, because there are a few Pokemon that I would swap in and out, because I would want more than 6, to be completely honest. But there won't be many in S tier. I don't think we're going to go crazy with... we're not going to go crazy with the S tier. Okay, so, Bulbasaur. Probably I've just literally said it's easy mode, and then he's probably going to be my favourite of the starters, purely because it does make that first start of that game. He's very cute looking. I like how he looks. Great first choice Pokemon. But I think I put him in. So actually, let's decide on what the thing here is. I'm not delaying, I promise. But let's decide on what these tiers are. So this is must-haves. This is going to be just great Pokemon, amazing Pokemon. They're fine. I could take it or leave them, and then just terrible. They kind of go with that. I mean, you can rename the tiers, but I just didn't know what to name them. So these are like my must-haves. These are my excellent Pokemon. These are great Pokemon. These are, they're okay. And then these ones are just absolutely terrible. I think that's what we're going to go with. Thank you for the like on the stream. Very much appreciated. I think that's how we're going to go with it. So, must-haves, excellent Pokemon, great, they're okay, terrible. Can we change that? So let's go to must-haves. Excellent. Great. Decent. Just no. I might need to move us over a little bit. Hold on, just check that there. This is also kind of a tester for this as well. So if I put this over here, can you see that now? Can you see the titles and stuff on the screen? So it's on the top left there. I've just changed it from S and stuff like that. Can you guys see that? Welcome in, Kira. Thank you. I'm very excited to get started on this as well. So obviously, as we rank through it as well, some of them may move up and down, because I'll start off, hopefully it'll be fairly straightforward for me, but then as we get into more, and then I get to other Pokemon where I'm like, they're quite decent, but they're great, but they're not the same as this great Pokemon, so they might have to be like lower great and things like that. So, you totally missed the panels on the side. Okay, right, let's just get started. So, Bulbasaur, I'm going to say pretty much straight away. This is going to be so much fun. Here we go. I'm thinking, I mean, the baby Pokemon are never going to be in your must-haves, because they're never going to be your end Pokemon. I think Bulbasaur's great. Okay, I think we're going to start Bulbasaur here in great. Or excellent. Great or excellent, because I don't think Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle are on the same level. But do I prefer Squirtle or Bulbasaur? I think I prefer Bulbasaur. So I think I'd put Bulbasaur here. Okay, so we're starting Bulbasaur in excellent. Ivysaur, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not a massive fan of any of the middle stage. I think they're okay. So I think Ivysaur goes in the decent. He looks great. Great Pokemon, but I think when you get to the middle stage, you're just desperate to get to the next stage. I feel like you love having Bulbasaur, you love having Charmander, you love having Squirtle, then when you get to Ivysaur, Charmeleon, Wartortle, you're just desperate to get to the next level. You're desperate to get to your Venusaurs, your Charizards and Blastoise. You've had all your fun with the baby Pokemon, you just want the big boys. So I feel like that's why I would put Ivysaur in your decents. Not a terrible Pokemon, just is not as good as Bulbasaur and or Venusaur. I'm thinking Okay, Venusaur. Venusaur. I think I'm going to go great. Better than Ivysaur, not as cool as Bulbasaur. Again, probably an unpopular opinion. But I didn't tend to have the starter in my final 6. I didn't have any of the starters in my final 6. Didn't tend to happen for me. Charmeleon, I think, is the coolest looking of the middle stage starters. I would agree with you there, John. I think he is the best looking, the coolest looking. Just thinking of him from it was always quite entertaining to watch in the TV show as well. Charmander, right, John, so I need to be careful because I grew up playing this with John, and one of my favourite memories of Pokemon were playing it with John, so I need to treat his Pokemon nice and fairly as well. Charmander. I think I put Charmander in excellent as well. Do I put him? No. Great. I don't like Charmander as much as I like Bulbasaur. I'm wondering if these are all going to fit, by the way. We'll see. We'll see. We might even need to add more rows. So you can actually add more rows. This is just a website called Tier Maker. So you can literally just click on the side and add rows above or below. So depending on how this goes, we may have to add in. We might have to add in more. So yeah, Charizard. I think Charizard's shiny is one of the best shinies. I think his shiny colouring is one of the coolest. That is a very cool looking Pokemon. He would definitely be up in excellent, or must even maybe breaching into must-haves on those looks alone, just on the looks. Right, Charmeleon. I would agree he is. Oh, can I not put him up here like that? There we go. I would say he's better than Ivysaur. The coolest of the 3. Agree totally. But I still don't think he's the same level as. I think I still prefer Charmander. Charizard. He's a dragon. Technically, he's not called a dragon, but let's see. He is a dragon, right? Dragons are for the win for me. It's just on his aesthetic. He's just cool looking. I would put him in excellent, I think. I would put him in excellent. Right, I'm going to just save us some time here and just put Wartortle in here, but I prefer Wartortle to Ivysaur as well. I think Ivysaur's the weakest of the 3 for me, for the middle evolutions. Which is fine because he evolves into Venusaur. Thank you for the likes, guys, very much appreciated. Welcome to the stream, Alchemist, how are we? I think Ivysaur, thankfully he evolves into Venusaur earlier. He's level 32, I believe, whereas Charmeleon and Wartortle go into Charizard and Blastoise at 36. So at least we don't need to spend as much time with Ivysaur. But he's not my favourite. He's my least favourite out of the 3. Right, Squirtle. Interesting one. Squirtle's great. But I think out of the 3 starters, I think I have to put Squirtle there. I also think I need to put Squirtle before Charmander though. Maybe even before Venusaur. Close to excellent, I think, for me. Yeah. I think we go close to excellent for Squirtle, but not quite excellent. Not in the same level as Bulbasaur for me. Blastoise, large tortoise. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's getting tricky already and I'm barely even started. Okay. Blastoise for now. Is he excellent? I don't think he's excellent. Is he? No. No. I think I'm going to put him in here beside Venusaur. Or did I put him up here? No. Nah, I think I did put him up here. Just last though, I think if I was going to have any of the starters, it would either be Charizard or Blastoise, so close to my must-haves. They were probably the closest out of the 3 to stay in my top 6 when I played through Red and Blue. Even Gold and Silver was obviously introduced Gen 2, but in Red and Blue, yeah, I think Blastoise would probably even be closer than Charizard to get into my top 6. Oh boy! I was thinking that as well, John. Yes, the Squirtle Squad Squirtle with sunglasses would be up a couple of tiers. I think I agree with you on that one. Right, that's an easy one. Caterpie, just no. Metapod, even more just no. Even more just no. The poor thing. And Butterfree is decent. It's great for the early game. Very, as a lot of people say, very cheesy with its moves, with its stun spore and things like that. But I think as soon as you get into just getting into mid game, it becomes, let's be honest, a little bit useless. It's a cute Pokemon. Bye Bye Butterfree is still traumatic to think about. Such a brilliant episode of the original show. But if I'm comparing it to the ones that I already have up here, I don't think Butterfree. But I prefer. I've just no love for Ivysaur, I'm afraid. Right, Weedle. Just no. Kakuna, even worse. Just no. But I think Weedle slightly over Metapod. Over Metapod. I think Kakuna looks better than Metapod. Cooler than Metapod in terms of looks. It's already so hot out here today. Oh well, what's that like? We never get hot weather here. Right, as I put these up, actually, are the Pokemon moving up at the side? I've actually not been checking because I might need to start scrolling down, and then that might make it a little bit more complicated. Okay. Right, I feel like those evolution lines are a little bit easier. Beedrill. Similar problem to Butterfree. Great early game. I love the look of Beedrill, but he fully evolved at level 10, which just tells you later in the game, again, it becomes quite weak. I love his aesthetic though. I think he looks really cool. If he was stronger, it would be a lot closer to my team. But the fact that it becomes quite weak, quite quick, is unfortunate. This is a cool design here. More like a Hornet. But I think we're going to just stick with the originals. And I think I would put Beedrill, actually. Purely on aesthetic. I think Charmeleon looks cooler. I think on aesthetic, Beedrill goes there. Decent Pokemon, but it becomes too weak after a while. Oh boy. Juju the player. Yeah, I told you I was going to insult and upset a few people. I do apologise, but that's where... Don't like the bugs. That's the thing. I like the look of the bugs, but I never use them enough because they become so weak and obsolete very early on in the game. So I've never used them enough to put them higher. Yeah, War Turtle. I believe what I said is I'm not a massive fan of the middle stage evolutions. I prefer the baby Pokemon and then the final evolutions, the middle stage. I think we like the babies, and then when we get to middle stage, I just think, for me personally, I'm always just in a rush to get to the next level. I just want the final evolution after I've seen the baby. I don't mind the second evolution for a little bit, a couple of levels, but then I'm just like, I want my Blastoise, I want my Charizard, I want my Venusaur. So yes, I apologise that War Turtle has offended you. Butterfree is very good as a bug Pokemon, but I think, especially in the earlier games, if we think about the Gen 1, I think it became very obsolete very quickly. It just wasn't powerful enough. Thank you so much for joining the stream, by the way. It's very much appreciated. And apologies if I've upset you with my choices already. Right. Pidgey. Ugh. Pidgey. Has to be just no, doesn't it? But not quite as bad. I'd say it's the best of the just no's at the moment. Again, Pidgeotto. Decent. Pidgeot. Goes straight up into excellent. Very close to... very, very close to must-haves. That might bump up. That might bump up. Because I love Pidgeot. Yeah, like the fluffy the tail bit I've never really understood. The tail of War Turtle, I've never really understood it. Because, like you say, it's kind of here in Squirtle, he's got the weird tail. It evolves into that, and then when he goes to Blastoise, it just has a normal tail. It's very strange. But Pidgeot, Kadee, as John and I used to always call it. That was an accident, but there we go, in the chat, Kadee. That was an accidental naming, and then it just stuck. Every time we got a Pidgeot, or like a Pidgeot equivalent in any Pokemon game, it very quickly became Kadee. That will always hold a special place in my heart, so that's why Pidgeot goes so high, potentially moving up into must-haves. As a flying Pokemon, you always have to have a flying Pokemon in your team, and that's in Gen 1. I think, is probably, if we're looking at just flying Pokemon, technically Charizard is just the flying, but yeah, I would say Pidgeot. Excellent. Right. Amazing. Okay, we've only upset one person so far. Okay, Rattata. The Team Rocket. Just no, but not that far down, just no. Again, you know, Caterpie, just purely because in the anime it's Ash's first Pokemon, I think I would put him a little bit ahead of Rattata, and that's literally the only reason. Let's see, Raticate. No, not a massive fan of normal type Pokemon. Not a massive fan of normal type Pokemon. Is Pidgeotto that far down there? Yeah. Spot the starters that I don't like. I'm very upset just not saying anything until now. What are you upset with? What have I done wrong? Tell me what I've done wrong. I can take it. Okay. Raticate. I feel like Decent's going to fill up really, really quick. I might bump Charmeleon up. Because Raticate is not just no. But I wouldn't say he's great. But I also wouldn't say he's the same level as Charmeleon. If I was to pick a secondary starter, it would be Charmeleon. Look at him. He's so cool. So I think I would put Charmeleon up here and I'd put Raticate down here. Ahead of Ivysaur. Okay. Spearow. I don't want to put all the babies in just no, but I mean, a lot of the babies aren't great. Spearow is going to go down here, but I think it's going to go ahead of a lot. I don't mind Spearow. I say that. I do. I don't like Spearow. Not his biggest fan. Man, we're going to run out of space here very quickly. We've not hit any must-haves yet for me. Oh boy. Right, Fearow. Decent flyer. Actually, you know what? I think he's pretty great. No, not great as in up to that, but I think, yeah. I think he'll be further down the great. I think he'll be more towards the end of the great, but I like Fearow. I quite like flyers. I'm going to put the next two probably on the same tier. I think they're both decent. Team Rocket Pokemon just never really done it for me. I feel like the Spearow line needs either a new Evo or a regional form. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think I agree with you. I think a lot of the second tier, or even the single Pokemon, I think they've done well with a few of them. Making them, giving them extra evolution lines and stuff. Right. Let's see. Ekans and Arbok. Snake and Cobra. Yeah, I think all the Team Rocket Pokemon just go in decent, I think. For the most part. Yeah. I quite like... Do I like Ekans? Not as much as Ivysaur, and Arbok probably just a bit more than Ekans. They might change. Right. Oh, here's a tricky one. I would love to see a really cool further evolution for the snake. The snake line of Ekans and Arbok. 100%. 100%. Right, let's see. Thank you for voting in the poll as well, guys. Thank you for the likes so far. It's very much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying this. Hopefully it does well, because I enjoy doing these sorts of things. And I love watch people do them, so. Right. Pikachu. What do I do with Pikachu? I don't dislike Pikachu. I just think he's very... If we're going by the anime, he's too overpowered. Which might sound ridiculous, but I think he's just too overpowered. Like, beating Brock because he turned the sprinklers on and still beat a massive rock snake with a tiny mouse. Not having it. Not having it. I've never really had a Pikachu. Like, I've caught them. Started with it in Pokemon Yellow, but didn't really keep it. But I can't deny his impact, obviously, with Pokemon. He's like the face of Pokemon. I'm gonna have to put him up here, I think. Purely for what? Because he is the face of Pokemon. I think we need to put him here. Raichu, very cool Pokemon. I love the look of Raichu. I think he's really cool. Boy, yeah, I think I'm going to put him on great as well. Damn it, Fearow down. We'll see. Some of these, like I said, some of these might move. Sandshrew, Sandslash. I love these Pokemon. A lot of people don't like these Pokemon. I love Sandshrew and Sandslash. So he's a very high decent for me, purely because, again, in the games is not the greatest later game, but Sandslash, I always tried to make him work in my top 6 because I just think he's really cool. Anything with sharp claws and stuff is a winner for me. Not a must-have though. It's high on my excellent list though, which from other rankings that I've seen people do doesn't get a lot of love. Fair enough, people's own opinions. Sandslash for me, I always try to make him work. I love Sandslash, so I'm going to put him. I think I'm going to put him in between Blastoise and Charizard. No, would I have him before I have Charizard? You bet I would. I love Sandslash. And I don't care what anybody says. Right, Nidoran. Just no. Nidorino. Just no. Nidoqueen is great. The final evolutions for these lines, I think they save it for them. And I think Nidoking is probably a low excellent for me. Nidoqueen is like a mid great. No, we're probably going to have to add in a new bar here at some point. I think we need to put Nidoran down here. I think Nidorino is decent. For aesthetic alone gets up a bit of a point. I just don't like the look of Nidorino. Not a fan of either of these. I like Nidorino. I think he looks cooler. Nidoking, more likely to get into my top 6. So closer to getting into my top 6, I believe. For me, anyway. We are going to run out of space really quickly here. I mean, we're going to have to add in an extra row. It's part of the fun, though. How did they think this was going to be big enough to accommodate 151 Pokemon? Unless it extends, or did it get smaller maybe? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens once we get to the end of a row. Still not hit any of my must-haves. Okay. We're getting close though, I can see a couple. Clefairy, no. Clefable is decent. Yeah, decent. I think Clefairy is decent. Clefable, sorry, is a decent Pokemon. Oh boy, well, we're getting close to the end of the decent line, so we'll see what happens when I start to fill up a bit more. Jigglypuff, what an annoying Pokemon to bat. Oh, sorry, I missed some. Vulpix, very cute Pokemon. Definitely not going in just no. One of the better babies, I'd say. Yeah, I'm going to put them like mid-decent up here. Yeah, there we go. It extends. Okay. It extends. We're all good, I think. We're good. No problem, Manchester City. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Hopefully you've left us a little like, left us a little vote in the poll. Very much appreciated. And then I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully. Enjoy the rest of your night. Ninetales is an excellent Pokemon. Again, one that is a really great fire-type Pokemon. I would probably put it in great. Yeah, when I'm looking at that, excellent, sorry. If I'm looking at that line of greats, I would have Ninetales over all of those, I think. Yeah, I'd probably have Ninetales before I'd have Nidoking as well. Yeah. Thank you for the like, very much appreciated. Oh, the Alolan Ninetales is beautiful. If it was a Alolan Ninetales, we may possibly would go higher. Austin, hello, how are we? Welcome to the stream, friend. How are we? How are things, man? How are things? I'm sure you're going to have some things to say about this, which is, that's what we're doing it for. We'll love to see what other people's opinions are. Thank you for the votes in the poll as well. Right now, favourite games is in the lead with the poll. MCU movies is next, and then favourite movies. I'm probably going to do all of these. I'm just trying to figure out in which order I should do them in. So at the moment, favourite games. It'll probably be slightly different than this though, because either that I would need to make up my own. So I might actually spend the time and make up my own one of these for my favourite games, and I'll put all the games that I have and then just kind of make a list that way. We'll see. Send you a message on Discord. Oh, I'll check that out after the stream, man. No problem. I shall check that out. Right. Let's go for Jigglypuff next. I hated fighting Jigglypuff. I don't hate Jigglypuff. I hated battling Jigglypuff. Sing was so frustrating. Sing was just so frustrating. I'm going to put Psyduck in top tier. A must have. Just to frustrate you, Austin, I think. No, I won't do that. Wigglytuff goes right with Clefable. Again, not a massive fan of the normal types, but Wigglytuff is more fun to say than Clefable. So Wigglytuff goes just above. I apologize. I promise I won't. I promise. Right, Zubat. He's too common. Frustrates me every time. See when you get excited about a Pokemon and then a Zubat turns up? Is that a worse feeling? Nah. But he's not the worst of the worst. What am I doing? Like, I've stopped to put them in order now. I would put Zubat here. Metapod can go right to the bottom. I apologise. I'd put this up here. No, I'd put neither. Yeah, we'll swap them about a little bit. Right, so. Am I being too harsh on Metapod? I don't think so. What is a good background for an old time Pokemon game that you play as Oak? Ooh. That's a good question. A good background? A Pokedex. Some sort of Pokedex. That's what he's all about. Golbat! Does he quite reach great? I don't think so. I think I'd say it's high decent. Golbat. I prefer Crobat. If it was Crobat would be higher up in this list. Golbat. For me, high decent. Maybe there. Actually, he's not got great moves though, does he? Maybe mid. Very, very middle of the pack. Golbat. Is it off the top of the screen? Oh, is it because we're stretching? Is that okay? Sorry, it's just, yeah, so it's because I'm having to scroll down now. So I'll make sure we keep going up and down. Thank you for letting me know, Kelpie. Very much appreciated. Oddish. I don't hate Oddish. I think he's very cute. But he's so close to being decent. That's what. Making videos again, but start with Pokemon The First Journey. It's a fan game. Oh, cool. Well, I'll definitely check that out. I don't think I've ever even heard of that one. So I look forward to those videos. Yeah, I'd say Oddish is very cute, but nowhere near. Gloom. I think I have a soft spot for Gloom because we started with Naroku. We did our Pokemon Heart Gold randomizer, and I got Mount Gloom as my starter. Which, before that, Gloom would be very low on my list. But I'm going to put Gloom in decent, high decent. It would be very low, close to just no. His slabbers and his weird face. But he's grown on me. I'm going to put Gloom here. Before Butterfree. Vileplume. I think Vileplume is great. I think Vileplume is a great Pokemon. So versatile. Lots of, again, cheesy moves. Quite powerful. Very pleasing on the eye. Yeah, I'd put maybe... I'm going to put him up here. Probably here. I like Vileplume. He's just a little bit weird is all. Oddish. Don't make him cuter. I'm not moving him. Don't do that. Okay. How many are we in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. We're almost a third of the way there. What are we thinking so far, guys? Any that you don't agree with? Is there any rare you just say absolutely not? You've got that completely wrong. Is there any here that you just think absolutely no chance? I've never really thought about it this way, like ranking them, and just, again, my mind just keeps changing them and stuff, but oh, how many must-haves am I going to, I don't know how many must-haves I'm going to actually have. You agree so far? Excellent. Let's see if I can get you to disagree with any. Okay. Right, Paris. That's a just no for me. Weird little crab mushroom thing. Wouldn't go amiss in The Last of Us being possessed by mushrooms. But he's not super low. I'll put him there. Why not? Arbok higher? I knew you'd say that. I think Arbok is a pretty cool Pokemon. I just don't think he's not very usable in the game, which is why he would never really get close to my top 6. He's not really great against any type of Pokemon, especially in the Gen 1 games. He might be better now with this poison type, but in the original game, I just found that anytime I tried to use him, it didn't seem to be great against any one type of Pokemon, like a particularly Pokemon. A lot of these Pokemon you go, oh, I could use him against this gym or this Elite Four member or these types of Pokemon. Arbok, never really. Yeah, and the movesets. The movesets for the normal type Pokemon and your poison type Pokemon were not great. Apart from like Vileplume, for some reason got great moves, and then your Arboks and stuff. Just never got it. On aesthetics, it would be higher, but because I have all these other things, plus he's purple, so he would be a lot higher, just purely because he's purple. But I agree with Austin, his moveset is terrible. Terrible. Beedrill, yeah, Beedrill. I think I'm quite happy with where Beedrill is, because when I look at these Pokemon up here, I think he is decent. I just don't think he's as good as these Pokemon up here. I think is the top of my screen going again? No, we're okay. So you should do Gen 1, and then at the end you can move them around. Just do them and then move them around. Okay. Parasect, Elton John. Very bottom of decent. Just purely because he looks like Elton John and it makes me laugh every time I see him. That's the only reason I'm putting him into decent. It makes me laugh every time. If Elton John was a Pokemon, he would be Parasect. And it makes me laugh. Don't like Fearow. I'm a fan of Fearow. I like Fearow. Right. Venonat. You know what? It's not a just no for me. Is it? Is it the same as Oddish? A high just no. Close. Yeah, it wouldn't be anywhere near my team, to be fair. I think he's very cute though. So I think that's why I'm going to put him the same with Oddish. On par with Oddish. Close to being decent, but just not quite. Venomoth is decent, but I much prefer Butterfree. And let's be honest, you're going to always compare the butterfly and the moth. So I think I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say Venomoth again is decent. Better than these two. There, I think, yeah. Yeah, we'll go that. Diglett? Nope. Not a terrible just no, but just no for Diglett. He's very cute though. What are your guys' opinion on the Diglett as well? Is that a tooth, or is it just part of his nose, like a design of his nose? Because I'll be honest, I never saw a tooth until someone asked that question, and now I think It's probably a tooth, because he can learn, like, bite and stuff, can't he? So, it's potentially a tooth. Think it's a little nose. Think it's just his nose. Look a bit closer. It looks like it's a little tooth, which I think makes him even cuter if it's just a one lonely little tooth. The fact that he can learn bite, but also, well, saying that, he can learn scratch and he has no hands. So who knows? Who knows how Diglett works? Doug Trio. Tri-attack's great. He gets a great moveset. Earthquake, dig, tri-attack. See when I say that out loud? I think he goes up to great. I think Doug Trio's pretty great. Quite weak to grass and water. But at the same time, if you can teach one Pokemon dig, earthquake, and tri-attack, I think that's pretty decent. I'd say that's pretty decent. I'd go decent on that one. Right. Meowth. I love Berserker. Don't hate Meowth. Don't love Meowth either. Meowth is cute, but I think that's about it. So again, I think he's going to go down here, which is a shame. I think Berserker's a really cool evolution. That was a good addition. Persian, decent. Again, normal type though. Not a massive fan of normal types. Again, Team Rocket as well. Giovanni goes down here with the other normal types. I think Parasect would probably, Elton John would probably be better than these three. Is it just me that sees Elton John there, by the way, or can anybody see where I'm coming from? Right, let's see. Psyduck, Austin's favourite. Okay, Austin, if you're still there, we're going to put Psyduck. No, I'm going to put... I don't hate Psyduck, you know? I don't hate him. I apologise, Austin. I don't hate him. I don't hate Psyduck. I don't hate... Put that duck and just know. He learned some decent moves though. Are you telling me that Psyduck's as bad as your Caterpies, your Metapods, Kakunas, Weedles? You think he's just as bad as those? Is that what you're telling me? Hey Austin, that's your one input for this then. That's your one. that's your one and done. You get to move Psyduck to just know. If anybody has any problems with that, you take it up with Austin. Dark Hollow Hunter over on TikTok and on YouTube. Golduck. I think Golduck jumps up a couple of levels. I think Golduck's pretty great. Again, I always tried to get him to work. Because I think he's really cool. I just never could get him to work. So I think that's why I have to put him in great and not excellent. You love all the cool Pokemon Wackadoodle. I will do that. I will turn it into a clip and then is there a way for you to do that from there? No? If not, I can do that, yes. I will make a little short out of that. Then I'll stick it in your... You have great taste, Wackadoodle. Mr. Mime, Psyduck, Ekans, Arbok, Diglett. All the best. Mankey. I can't put Mankey... Oh, sugar. I can't put Mankey down there with all those Pokemon down there. I need to put Mankey in decent. I would definitely have Mankey over Persian. That's how much I dislike Persian. Again, I don't hate Persian, but it's just not a great Pokemon, is it? The normal type Pokemon in this gen. Primeape. Always frustrating to battle. Yeah, I think I'd put him up here. Next, oh, we're running out of the Pokemon. You're going to be able to see any of the Pokemon now. But that's okay, as long as you can see the tier list, that's okay. I can also extend it if we have to. Right, don't care what anybody says. Growlithe, very low, but he's great. I love him. He's a good boy. Good doggo. And my first must-have for me, Arcanine. Gen 1 Pokemon was always a must-have for me. The goodest boy. I love Arcanine. And I don't care what anybody says. Arcanine, for me, was always a must-have. If I was going to have a fire-type Pokemon, Arcanine would always be my first thought. My first pick. So, Arcanine is my first must-have for me in Gen 1. Poliwag. I love this evolution line, but Poliwag is not good enough for anything. Poliwhirl jumps up 2. And then my second must-have, Poliwrath. And Gen 1, absolutely. I love Arcanine, love Poliwrath. Again, if I was going to choose a water Pokemon, it would be Poliwrath. Doesn't get as much love as I think as it should. Can learn some cheesy moves like Hypnosis and stuff as well. I think it's pretty great. Okay, next we have Abra. Goes straight into just no. Teleport, and that's all you're good for. Worse than Psyduck. Again, I think we're going to miss out decent, and we're going to put Kadabra into great. I think we're going to put him above. Yeah, we're going to put Golduck very low on this list here. Yeah. And then Alakazam. This is purely for John because we grew up playing these and Alakazam was always in his team. So I never really used Alakazam because I didn't like to use the same Pokemon as John. But I will admit, Alakazam is an excellent Pokemon. But because John would tend to put them on his list, I wouldn't tend to, so it'd be a wee bit further away from my must-haves for me. Yeah, I think I'll put him there. Woofed. Woofed. Okay, favourite games still in the lead at the moment in our poll. Okay. Right. Purely because it's one of my favourite evolution lines, but I don't think he's particularly great. So very low decent, but I'm going to put Machop down here on decent. I'm then going to put Machoke very low on the great. No, very high on decent. I don't particularly think Machoke is much better than Machop, if I'm being completely honest. Yes, he's stronger than Machop, which you would expect. Hey, Austin made the clip. Amazing. You'll need to send it to me as well. I want to see it. We're going to put Machoke here, and then jumping up a few tiers, quite a few tiers, Machamp is my next must-have. Machamp is... I love Machamp. Look how cool he is. He's cool, and at the time when I was growing up, I loved wrestling as well, and he's just like a wrestling Pokemon. He's really cool. So, a 4-armed wrestling Pokemon was always going to make my top 6. Yeah, so Machamp is a definite must-have for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 68. We're on to 68. 68. You should get your Discord in here, Austin, see if they agree with me. I feel like Gen 1, I don't think I've done many Pokemon here a disservice. I'd like to think not anyway. But we'll see. Obviously, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Bellsprout. Bellsprout. Very cute. Quite a funny Pokemon. But sorry, it's a just no. It's a just no. Weeping Bell. I'm going to put in decent. Decent. And I'm going to jump Victory Bell above. I think Victory Bell is an excellent Pokemon. Again, probably the best of the Team Rocket Pokemon. Yeah, I'd say best of the Team Rocket Pokemon is your Victory Bell. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. We're not changing anything. Not just yet. Tentacool. Decent. Decent water type. And Tentacruel, believe it or not, would be a way up here and awesome. Excellent. Did I put him after Ninetales? Yeah, no. Tentacruel was always close to my top 6. I think it's a really cool big Kraken. It's a Kraken Pokemon. Oh, we're starting to... Hold on. I'll need to change something on my thingy here. Should be okay. Just zoom in. I'm not going to do that. Just... Yeah, there we go. It's a bit better, so we can kind of still see what's going on here. Hopefully. Okay. Right. Obviously it'll move up and down, but that's okay. Right, next we've got Geodude. It's not a just no. He would be in my team at one point. He wouldn't go straight to the box and never to be seen again. So I don't think I'd put him up there next to Machop. Graveler. I think he's pretty great. I'll put him there. Golem. Oh, see a potential must have. It's very close. I think I'm going to put Golem up here as excellent. Excellent! Oh, thanks, Austin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, yes. So I think Golem. Again, some of these might move up and down. They may do, but we'll see. Right. What's next? Ponyta. Again, if we were doing the shiny, I love the blue flames on it. I don't think it's a terrible Pokemon. So I would say up here next to Vulpix. Yeah. Rapidash. I'd say great. Put Rapidash great up here. I don't mind Rapidash. Oh, appreciate that. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Right. Slow. I'm not a fan of Slowpoke, guys. I think Slowpoke is a... close to the top, but he's still... yeah, I'd say I'd put him there. Oh, we're running out of space here. We're running out of space, and I'm a believer. Yeah, sure. Well, yes, Alakazam for me, I said was literally because we didn't tend to use the same Pokemon, but I was always jealous of you having that Alakazam, but I didn't want us to use the same Pokemon. Oh, but I do love Alakazam. I love his design. I think he's really cool. So yes, he was obviously going to hit excellent for me. Hi Magic Cat, welcome to the stream. We've got 500, let's go. Yes, we're 505, which is incredible, which is amazing. Very excited, very happy. So now we're just trying out different content. We want to try and I just want to try a few different things to see what kind of resonates with people, because I basically try to make more content that I enjoy watching. I think this is more of a long-term video, hopefully anyway. Like my other streams, I believe, like the Pokemon Violet and stuff, they're great at the time, but there's not much rewatchability with them. Whereas this one, I think this one has more longevity because people are more likely to click on it even after the stream. That's the hope anyway, fingers crossed. I might do some more ranking videos off stream as well, because I just enjoyed, I just made up a word. I just enjoy doing these. Happy with the must-haves? Excellent. Well, I'm glad. I just feel like these three were always in my team. Every time I played through it, I was always like, I'll go with different Pokemon, and then when I found a Growlithe or a Poliwag or a Machamp, I always got super excited. My biggest thing was Machamp had to be traded for, but thankfully one of John's other favourite Pokemons is Gengar, and you had to trade for him as well. So we basically just, every time we played through, he would trade me Haunter, I would trade Machoke, and then we'd get them back. So it was a happy medium. When is the horror stream? I'm unsure. I'm going to spend a little bit of time this weekend. I kind of want to maybe try and make it a charity stream as well, if I can. I don't know what the logistics of that would be, or if I should try and maybe save that for when we hit 1,000. But we'll see. It will be at the weekend at some point, just purely because it's going to be a 12-hour stream, and it's going to be working full time, so I can't do it during the week. So it will be one weekend coming up, but I also have a wedding coming up, so we need to wait and see. It hopefully won't be too far away. I have never seen this. Hold on, can you see this? Yes, you can. Can you see this Slowbro? What is this design of Slowbro? What is this? Welcome to the stream, guys. Please make sure, if you haven't already, leave us a little like on the stream as well. It really helps us out, and it helps push out the stream, hopefully, and that helps get lets more people see it. Mega Slowbro. I'm not a fan of that design, I'm not gonna lie. I do like Slowbro though. I would put Slowbro in great. High great? High great. Remember the high great, guys? You know what Fearow is not? I don't prefer Fearow to. I think Fearow's gonna get further and further down my list here. I like Fearow, but not as much as these other ones. The goodest boy Growlithe. I don't think they're true. But then when I say those moves out loud again, Earthquake, Dig, Tri-Attack. Yeah, nah, I'm happy where he is. Slowbro does have a mega Slowbro. Okay. Right, okay. Oh. Yeah, we're trying to work out the best way to do this, because obviously as the stream expands, try to keep it on the screen, so we'll see how we go by the end. Hopefully we should okay, because we should be putting a few more in excellent and must-haves soon. Magnemite, as it says that. Magnemite's decent, right? I think he got better in Gen 2. I don't think, because if I remember correctly, Gen 1, Steel wasn't a thing, so Magnemite and stuff wasn't that great. Magnemite, nah, it wasn't really a Steel. I think it's pretty universally agreed it was the worst Mega Evolution. Yeah, I think looking at it, it's a very strange choice. It's basically being eaten by his own tail thing. It's just weird. Very weird. Anyway, Magnemite was not great Gen 1. But better than Psyduck. You happy, Austin? Psyduck's getting further and further down this list. I would agree. I think Magnemite, if it was Gen 2 and onwards, I would put Magnemite and Magneton probably a little bit higher, because they're quite tough. I think especially in Gen 2 when they introduced Steel, it made like with Steelix, Skarmory, Magneton, it just made them a bit tougher. I'd say Magneton in this gen was decent. High decent, but decent. But no, look at these ones that are in high decent. Yeah. Yeah, so there's just in case we're missing it there when if people are joining. If you say Austin. I thought you'd appreciate it. I just saw your comment there on the Victory Bell, John. I thought you'd appreciate that. I'll be honest as well, I never really gave Victory Bell a second look until you started using them. Then when I saw you started using them, I was like, actually no, he is a pretty excellent grass poison type. They've done him right, and I would say he's better than Vileplume, I think. He's also just really cool looking. Creepy looking. Far-fetched. Ugh. Ugh. Is he the worst of the birds? Like, in terms of like fully evolved birds? I think Victreebel is one of the cooler looking Pokemon for sure. Farfetch'd is he the worst of the, like, because he's technically fully evolved. So I think that makes him like on par with the likes of Pidgey and Spearow. I just don't think he's Farfetch'd, I think the most unremarkable Pokemon. It's just also just the fact he's holding like a leek for no reason. For no reason. I think I'm going to put him just no, but I'll put him. Is he worse than Slowpoke? For me, I think he's worse than. See, to be honest, I think he's worse than Poliwag. I like Poliwag, which is weird to say since he's in the just no. Lost Wolf Riders, what's up? What's up with you, my friend? How are we? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Not much. We're just currently ranking our Gen 1ers. Have a little look there. We'll give you a little look. Christopher, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining, guys. Please make sure you're hitting that like button for us. See if we can reach more people. It would be very much appreciated. Lost is from the Discord. Oh, welcome in then, Lost. Thank you so much for joining. Very much appreciate it. Yes, so we're just currently doing our Gen 1ers. I see the first legendary Pokemon is at the top. What's our first legendary Pokemon? Is this... Not technically legendary, but you talk about it as in you find them legendary. Feel free to hit that sub button, guys, as well, if you haven't already. We're currently making our way to 1,000. After recently hitting 500, which was amazing. Right. So it makes more sense in Japan. Right, okay. If you say so. Oh, I appreciate that, Lost. Or Wolf. I'm going to call you Wolf. I think Wolf is cool. Lost Wolf. Just Lost Wolf. I'm going to call you Wolf. Right. Okay, now we're into some more burbs. See, another one. This one I don't think great, but I think is better than Farfetch'd because it is a first evolution, so I can give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm making up a lot of words this stream. Benefit of the doubt. Arcanine's a legend. Is that from because of Arceus? Is that the thing? Because that's I think that's what I got to in Arceus was when we fought the legendary Arcanine. Is that what it's from, or was it confirmed as a legendary from something else? Right, Dodrio. I'm not gonna lie, it's got 3 heads. It's pretty cool. It's cooler than Fearow. It's better than Golduck. I'm going to put Dodrio there. Would you say that's fair? Its name is a Japanese saying. It's like a bird brings a bunch of onions or something, and it's an idiom that means a convenient surprise. Well, okay. I definitely didn't know any of that. You can call me Swift Paper. Okay. Is that cooler than Wolf? Okay. Sounds far-fetched, John. Nice! Nice. Everybody go tell Kelpie to make up a YouTube channel and subscribe just for that joke. Go subscribe to Kelpie. Just for that joke. Oh, it was a typo. Oh, right, okay. So Arcanine's not technically a legendary. Oh, okay, now. Again, I think this is a Pokemon. No, it's not. It was ice. Was it ice? It was, wasn't it? Never mind. Seal. Hi, just no, but it's still just no. Dugong. I never connected with Dugong, I'm not going to lie. I think Dugong is just decent. But was Dugong just a water type in the original and then he became ice type? Or has it always been ice type? Did he always had like Aurora Beam and stuff, didn't he? I've put Dugong in decent, but I've never really used them enough to say anything other than decent, to be fair, to be completely honest with you. Right. Okay, here's what we have so far. Now we're on to... It's frustrating me to keep going up and down, but I can't stretch it far enough where it fits on the screen, okay. Grimer and Muck. Right, let's be honest. Anybody in chat ever used a Grimer? Has anyone ever, when a playing Pokemon, thought, there's a Grimer, that's a must-have in my game? Was it always water or ice? I thought it might be. Okay, I wasn't sure if that changed in Gen 2, but then obviously you've got Articuno in this, so there was some ice. Okay, Grimer. I don't think anybody ever uses Grimer. I think Grimer's a just no. That's not just for me, that's like a universal thing. Oh, you did, Christopher? Oh no! I've just slagged you off, I apologise. I think Grimer's a just no for me. Had to use it. Muck / yeah. No, I'm not doing it. I listened to you with Psyduck. I can't put Muck much higher than decent. Again, I've never really used them. I can't. In all good conscience, I cannot. I think Arbok is cooler looking. Yeah. I think Nidorino's cooler looking. I even think Ekans is cooler looking. I think that looks cool looking. Tentacool, aka Brainiac. I mean, I think Elton John is funny. Elton John makes it funnier. It's funnier to me. Muck is not great. I think Muck... I disagree. I'm not a fan. I think that's our first disagreement, June. A ranking of Ash's team. Oh, that could be a good one. That could be a good one. I think that's our first disagreement, John. I don't think Muck is great. I think Muck is yuck. Right. Oh, Shelder. Again, it's a high just no. But Cloyster, I think, jumps up a couple. I think Cloyster's great. I like Cloyster. I would put Cloyster. I think he's always one of the cooler looking Pokemon. I'm going to go ridiculous. I'm going to go insane. I'm going to put Cloyster over here. He would get closer to excellent. He would get closer to my team than Rapidash would, than Nidoqueen would, than Raichu would. I don't think that's insane. Yeah, I think Cloyster would get closer. Is this insane? This might be insane. No, yeah. Yep. So you know what? I really like Cloyster. The more I'm looking at him, the more I like him. Ekans and Arbok backwards. That's totally what you meant, isn't it? Or did you mean Snake and Cobra? Although for some reason Cobra with a K rather than just making him Arbok with the ending in a C, but they chose K. No, other way around. Does Cobra start with... No, Cobra starts with a K. Starts with a C. Pokemon has ruined my brain. Cobra's C, isn't it? Yeah. Come on. You're a teacher, Dracar. That is not the reason, Austin. No, definitely not. Okay, right, here we go. Here, time to offend John. You ready? Even more. Nah, I'm only kidding. I can't, because I love... This is probably... This is up there, I think, is one of the best evolution lines, as in, I like all three. There's not one that I don't like. I think I like all three of these evolutions. Obviously, I mean, Ghastly, I think, is decent. But a high decent. I think Haunter is a high great. I would put Haunter probably here. Gengar, again, the only reason I'm not going to put Gengar in a must-have, for me, is because John used to use them all the time, and again, we didn't really use the same Pokemon. I would always have a Gengar at one point, because like I said, we had to swap for Machamp and Gengar, but Gengar would be very, very close. I think, if I was to choose a ghost Pokemon, even now, we're in Gen, 9? And I still think Gengar's like just a really cool design, and I think still up there is like probably the best, if not is one of the best, if not the best ghost Pokemon. Right. Let's see if I can sort this out a little bit more. We're running out of space again. Oops. That's not going to work, is it? No, because it's not on the screen. Okay. We need to maybe zoom out on the actual screen here. Does that work? Works a little bit. Can you guys still see the Pokemon okay on there? Still easy enough to work out what they are. Right. Gengar and Alakazam are still 1 and 2 for me after so many games. Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to replace a lot of the Gen 1 Pokemon. Even when I was playing Violet and Scarlet, I was just kind of hoping and wishing for more Gen 1 Pokemon. Yeah, I still love Gen 1 and the design of the original 151. It's more exciting in the chat than it is in the video. Well, that's fair enough. But to start hatching shiny Gaslight and evolve them, then trade them with Everstone. Oh, nice. Get John, you need to make friends with Christopher and get yourself a shiny Gengar. I don't know how to make these videos more exciting. Like, when I watch them, I don't mind like watching just people talk their way through the reasoning for these things. They don't have to be the most like overactive types of thingy, but to each their own. I mean, I quite like the design here of Mega Gengar. I'm assuming this is Mega Gengar, but I don't think it's the best. I still think I prefer the original design for Gengar. Onyx. I'm going to stick Onyx. Great. I like Onyx. I prefer Steelix, but I still really like Onyx. And I still feel bad that you get beat by Pikachu with sprinklers. I am on OBS, I sure am. Oh, the Everstone I just saw. Trade them with the Everstone. Does Everstone mean it doesn't? That's the one that stops them evolving, isn't it? Yeah, that's why I tried it. That's why I'm trying it live. Is I think with like especially these tier rankings, I think it's better to have a back and forth with chat. I think I was doing like top 10. I would make them just a video and try and make them a little bit more exciting to watch. But it's hard to do a top 151. After stream, so we can talk about videos or stream. Absolutely no problem, Austin. Catch you in a little bit. Right. Can we still see? We can still see. Okay. Drowsy and Hypno. Boy. Drowsy's... I'd say... Right, Hypno's a bit easier, I think. I think Hypno's great. Not excellent. Not a must-have. I think he's pretty great. Drowsy, I think is going to be low tier decent for me. Worse than Muck. I'll put him worse than Muck, John. Okay. Even if people watch it at a later date and just skip to the end to see what the final product is, the end result is, that's absolutely fine as well. I don't mind if people want to do that. That's absolutely fine. But I just thought I'd try out this and see how it went. And to be honest, it's just a nice chill stream for me to chat and interact with you guys as well, which I like, because I feel like I don't get to do that as much, especially when I'm playing games like God of War and things and Harry Potter. I'm invested in the game and I don't really pay attention to chat as much, whereas this one allows me to chat to you guys a little bit more, which I quite like. Alchemist is back. Welcome back, friend. Right. Krabby. For the next rank stream, you could get some royalty-free lo-fi beats on to get the real chill chat vibe. I was thinking, I just didn't know how to get, like, I've got... Actually, I do have Epidemic Sound. Let me see if I can... I'll look into that for next time for sure. Because I was thinking about putting some music in, but I'm just always worried that it's going to... even though I'm not monetized at the moment, it would do something to harm the stream rather than help it. So, but I will look into the next one for the... Even like chill, because I feel like I should be able to play like the Pokemon theme and stuff, like the Pokemon game soundtrack, and it have not be a problem. I feel like I should be able to do that, since if I'm playing on stream, it's fine. So, Krabby. Krabby, again, he's one that if he was in my team, I don't immediately kick out. Kingler, I think, is excellent. Don't come at me. I like Kingler. I really like Kingler. There's some services that... Yeah, I've got Epidemic Sound is where I've got like the Viking song that I've got at the start of my streams and end streams, like the stream starting song. So that's where I've got that. So I've got membership with them. So I'm going to look into how to put it onto OBS and actually have it playing whilst we're doing this. I kind of basically just wanted to try this stream and see if people actually engaged with it and liked it. And then if so, then I would look into how to make it even better. So music was one way that I was wanting to do it. So we'll see how it goes. Right. Voltorb. For me, sorry guys, he's away down there. And see, to be honest, again, my apologies. If you're a massive fan of Electrode, that's a no from me. It's just nothing appealing to me about Electrode. It's just a big Pokeball. You're just trapping a big Pokeball in a smaller Pokeball. And that might be the cruelest of the cruel things to do. Right. Welcome to the stream, guys. Please leave us a little like if you wouldn't mind. Let me know in the chat what you think of the rankings so far. Have I made any major blunders in your eyes? Just let me know. We're here for a chat, to chill and chat. Trying something new on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, we do Pokemon. We do Pokemon Violet. We do Pokemon Unite. We do some Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy, Witcher 3. We've been doing some God of War Ragnarok. Lots of different... I'm a massive RPG fan. We'll be doing Baldur's Gate 3 when that comes out fully released in August. Hellblade. All these. If any of you like any of these games, any of these types of games, if you like ranking things, if you like reaction videos, if you like anime, you like TV shows, movies, hit me up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button for me. Vote in our poll for me as well. Let me know what we should do next. Right. Execute. I can make lots of egg puns, and that's the only reason I'm thinking I might put it in decent. Just for the, the fact that I can use them for egg puns. But obviously very, very low. I think that's literally what I'm going to do. I think that's an excellent choice. Excuse the puns. But I actually quite like Executor. Not going to lie. I'm going to put Executor in great. I always worry about Executor though if he falls over. Literally, how does he get back up? Also, look at this guy's face. Look at his little face. Right. Yeah, we're running out of space again. My goodness. Tricky. Right, let's see. Cubone. There's no part of me that's ever going to put Cubone any less than decent. Tragic Pokemon. I'm going to put a high decent. And I'm going to put Marowak up in excellent. Again, I think he gets better in later generations. Especially with his... Is it like a bump him up to excellent? Should I just make my own excellent... I feel like I should do that just for the pun. And I should just make an excellent tier. And just put Execute and Executor on that. Yeah, Marowak. Okay. What I don't understand about Alolan Executor is that it's part dragon type. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. It's like a giraffe, like a palm tree giraffe sort of thing, but it's part dragon somehow. Now, I'd like them to explain that one to me. Again, maybe Japanese folklore or something. Maybe that's something, maybe John will know. Why Executor turns into a dragon somehow, but looks nothing like... I don't know. I don't understand it. Right, okay, these next two Pokemon, I think I'm going to go in the same tier. Again, personal preference, but one's going to go slightly... No, actually. One's going to go slightly higher. Hitmonlee. Gen 1, I loved fighting Pokemon. Don't come at me, okay? And believe it or not, Blissey would definitely qualify for the excellent line. 100%. We might need to make a separate excellent line just for the puns. Right, don't hate me, guys, but for me, I always had Hitmonchan in my team. I always had Hitmonchan in my team. Well, I'll scroll up, guys, since there's new people just joining so they can kind of see. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know what you think of the rankings so far. If you think they're terrible, feel free to let me know. I don't mind. A lot of people have been in agreement. I think 1 or 2 disagreements, but for the most part, a lot of people have seemed to have agreed. But yes, so far we've got 4 in my must-haves for my team. Quite a few excellents that could potentially bump up. Pidgeot being probably the closest to bumping up. You always need a flyer in your team. Please, there's a lot of people, guys, and just hit that like button. Cost you nothing, helps me out as well. The type of tree translates to dragon tree. Ah, that makes a bit more sense, I suppose. It's a dragon tree. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, that was Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. What, guys, what one do you usually go for, Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan? Which one would you have chosen? I always tended to choose Hitmonchan, but it was always a tough choice. Thank you for checking that out, Naroku. I appreciate that. Lickitung. Now, here's a tricky one. Here's a tricky one. Lickitung. That's not tricky at all, is it? It goes in either decent or just no. Because he's a normal type. Moves are terrible. Gets a bit better in the later gens. Nah, I think Lickitung has to go up here. For the Lickitung fans, I apologise. But it goes in the same bracket as Arbok with cool looking Pokemon, funny looking Pokemon, just terrible movesets. Terrible movesets. Okay. We'll try and get a full picture by the end, guys. Just at the moment it's hard for me because it's stretching out and there's so many Pokemon. Still got a few to go, not many to go. Right, coughing. No. Wheezing, however, I think misses a step and goes up into great. I genuinely think Wheezing is actually pretty good. Again, I think it's his moveset that lets him down, but I think he's okay. Gen 1, no. Is he okay in Gen 1? Does he go down here? Is he a high decent? Is he a low great? I'll let you guys decide that one. Is he a high decent, low great? What would you guys say? High decent, low great. First person that tells me, I'll just stick it in there. High decent, low great. Decent. Okay, we'll go with that then. We'll go high decent. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. Right, okay, what we got next? We have got Rhyhorn and Rhydon. I think Rhyhorn is decent. I wouldn't put Rhyhorn in a just no. Because again, if I get Rhyhorn, I would maybe make the effort to get to Rhydon. But Rhydon wouldn't stay in my team, so I think he goes high great. I don't think he would really come closer than anyone's up there in the excellent. I don't, nah, because Cloyster, I don't think he would go close. Actually, you know what? You know what? I really like Cloyster. High decent, high decent. Okay, I think we're all agreed he's high decent. Oh, okay. Chansey. It's not Blissey, so it's Chansey. It's a normal type. Not a fan of the normal types. Didn't really use them. But I think she's much better. I think Chansey's much better than Wigglytuff and Clefable. I think it's going to be a mid to high decent. Just never really clicked with me, these Pokemon. Blissey has definitely clicked with me in Violet because it's great for raids. Who's my favourite Gen 1 Pokemon? Oh, have a little look at the background and see if you can guess. Manchester City's back. Welcome back, friend. How are we? I'm going to put Chansey over here. The exact same cry. Yeah, a lot of the Pokemon have the same cries. Or very similar cries. It's excellent. I think, do I need to make its own? Do I put one in between decent and... Hold on, guys. No. Okay. There you go. There we go, guys. Fixed it. You are correct, Christopher. That is the one. Okay. It's added an extra tier. It's made it a little bit bigger and harder to keep it in frame, but you know what? It's worth it. Right. Tangela. Tangrowth. I would say it would go into great. Tangela, I'll put in decent. Low decent. It's not a just no. Is that just no because Gen 1? Would I ever use a Tangela? But he's very cute. Look at his little shoes. He's got little red shoes. Yeah, we're going to stick Tangela there. Now this one, because it was so difficult to catch, because of the bloody Safari Zone, Safari Balls is the only place you could catch it, and it was what I particularly like best about Kangaskhan. Gonna go hatch eggs, no problem, Christopher. Let us know what you get. Kangaskhan, when you feed it bait at the Safari Zone, always looks like it hits right on the baby. It looks like you're feeding the baby rather than the mama Kangaskhan, which I always really liked. So I'm going to stick Kangaskhan. Where am I going to stick Kangaskhan? Really high, decent? Does the fact that it has a baby in its pouch, I think I'm going to put it up to great purely for that. And the fact that it looked like you're feeding it, you got to feed the baby. My criteria is getting different. Thank you for the like on the stream, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, we're going to stick Kangaskhan there. I don't think anybody hates Kangaskhan enough to say no, it should be indecent. If you do, you're a monster. A pocket monster. Okay. We're getting towards the end, guys. Not much left to go. Horsey. Horsey. I think we're going to stick here and just no. I wouldn't really have a Horsey. Cedra, however, I'm going to put as a low grade. The fact that it turns into a dragon later gives them bonus points. In Kingdra. Yeah, I think Cedra's pretty great. Goldine. Melon the kid. I'm offended. When I had pink hair, my name was Jigglypuff, so what are you trying to say? I meant no offense. I don't. The normal type Pokemon just. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I put Jigglypuff in that low down was because of how infuriating it was to battle Jigglypuff, because no matter what Pokemon you used, it always went first. It always used Sing, and then you're always sleeping for about 3 or 4 turns. And then you just get double slapped, which is called double slap, but, well, I guess it's double slap because it slaps you twice, but then it hits 5 times and stuff. It was just little things like that. But you know what? Since you used to get called Jigglypuff, I'll put it up higher for you. I don't mean to offend. I just used to. It used to offend me, Danny. It used to offend me. Melon the kid. Right. Goldeen goes even further down. I think Goldeen's even worse than Seal. In fact, you know what, actually, I might put Seal even further down. Purely because there's no the name. It's just called it, let's make a Seal Pokemon and call it Seal. Do you think that, or what is it, Flamenco or Flamengo? And the newest one, what's worse, Seal or Flamengo? You know what, I didn't even think of it. I'm going to put Seal even further down. Purely for the lack of imagination in its name. It's a cute Pokemon, but that's just laziness on their part, in my opinion. Right, Seaking. Decent. I think that goes along with Dugong. You know what? No. Yeah, I don't think Seaking is particularly great. Flamingo is Flamingo. That's it, Flamigo. That's what it was. Yeah, Flamigo. Yeah, weird. Just Amigo and Flamingo put together. Yeah, or also known as laziness. Alchemist. Also known as laziness. Goldeen is a goldfish. But at least they've called it Goldeen and not just goldfish. Or fish gold. Right, so I think we're doing okay here. Well, I'll try and zoom out a bit. I feel if I zoom out too much here, you're not going to be able to see the Pokemon properly. Like even that's zoomed out and you still can't even really see the top here. Yeah, I'm just going to zoom back in. We'll just keep scrolling up and down so people can see what we've got going on. Right. I'd say Seal is cuter, but I don't like the lack of imagination with his name. Flamigo's name doesn't really change much from Flamingo. Yeah, that's just offensive. Offensive. Okay. Okay. I don't mind these next two Pokemon, and then the Pokemon after that is going to be an interesting one. Staryu. I think Staryu goes into decent. Better than Tentacool? Yeah. I think Starmie goes up to the next one. I think Starmie goes into great. Again, it just wouldn't really get close to my team. No, if I was choosing a water type Pokemon, Starmie wouldn't really be that high up on my list. Poliwrath, Blastoise, Tentacruel, Cloyster. Yeah, it wouldn't get close enough to be an excellent, really. So I think I'm happy putting Starmie there. Staryu has a nice shiny. Yeah, see, if we were doing shinies, I could see if there's one like that. If we just do purely on aesthetic and we do a shiny, if we rate the shiny of Pokemon. Now things get real interesting because this has been a running joke. Thank you for the like on the stream, very much appreciated. It was annoying in the second gym, you're right. Unless you had Bulbasaur, and then you're fine. Okay, if anyone has watched any of my previous streams or Naroka's previous streams, then you know that a running joke for us is this guy here, Mr. Mime. and I tell you where I'm going to put him. And I'm going to put this in. I'm sorry, but Mr. Mime isn't going to be just no, and I'm going to tell you why. If you've seen the movie, this is the only Pokemon I'm going to do this with. Okay, I've put the rest with the criteria we set at the start, but I'm going to change it slightly for this Pokemon purely because it's been a running joke for ages. But I'm going to put it because if you've seen the Detective Pikachu, the scene with Mr. Mime, Detective Pikachu, I hated that it was in the trailer because I thought it was genuinely hilarious, and I think it's one of the best scenes in that movie. And purely because of that, I'm going to put Mr. Mime into great. And that's the only... because it's a running joke on my streams, on the Roku's streams, and then the fact that it had a great scene in Detective Pikachu, I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to put Mr. Mime up in great. And I apologise. please don't quit. I think she quit. She left. I'm going to put Mr. Mime. must have. No, I won't put him must have. He's going to go in great. He wouldn't get in my team. I think he's funny. So I'm going to put him low great. I think I've got a good reasoning for it though. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to my guns here. Okay, now this one here. I think if we went with his evolution, it would be a must-have. But for now, I think we're going to have to go... And we're going to have to put him up here in excellent. Scyther is a really... One of the coolest looking Pokemon. One of the coolest looking Pokemon. Still, in my opinion, to this day. And the only reason he doesn't go into my my must-haves, is I don't think his moves become great enough. Like, if you get to the Elite Four and you have a Scyther, I don't think he's going to bode too well. And that's the only reason. But he's a very, very high excellent for me, purely because of just... Yeah, I love the look of Scyther. Shiny... Oh, what colour is Shiny Scyther again? And I love Caesar, and I think Caesar would be into my must-haves, because I feel like Caesar can... Although, I prefer the look of Scyther, but I think Caesar's the better Pokemon. But I prefer the blades to the claws, to the clamps. Right, John, you still here? Because we're on to the one that you said must be in must-haves. Cleaver. Yeah, Cleaver would be up there as well. I think Cleaver would be in my must-haves as well. Double axes for a Viking, 100%. No question there. I would have Cleaver in my team, no questions. Jinx. Sorry, I don't want Nicki Minaj in my team. I can't have Nicki Minaj in my team. Easiest pick of the night. I think I'm the only... I've never seen anybody else like Electabuzz. I think they always put him down in decent, like in the mid, just a mid Pokemon, which is fair. Just go all night and rate all 12,000 Pokemon. I mean, see, to be honest, on the tier, on this website, there are, you can literally do all the Gen Pokemons. So after a while, I think I could do Gen 2, and then I could do that, and I would know all those Pokemon. But after a while, when we start to get into like Gen 5, Gen 6, I would be judging them purely on whether I've caught them in Sword and Shield or what they look like, because I completely missed out on that generation of Pokemon. I'm going to be honest though, I'm really enjoying this though. I just, it's nice and chill. I feel like it's just nice to sit and chat and just actually sit and do this. I've been meaning to sit and do these for a while, so I'm glad I'm doing it on stream as well. Right. Electabuzz. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't even know why Electabuzz is my favourite Pokemon. I think he's really cool looking. I've always liked the electric type. I think it was also because he was quite rare to get, because he was only available in Pokemon, I believe, Red. And I always used to play Blue. Or was he involved? Was he Blue and Magmar was Red, or was it the other way about? It would make more sense for Magmar to be in Red, but I can't remember if that was actually the case. But it was basically I had Blue, John had Red, and so he I think he preferred Magmar and I preferred Electabuzz. But I'm almost positive, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive Electabuzz was Red and Magmar was Blue, and we always had to trade for them. You only found them in the power plant where you find Zapdos. Yeah, so Electabuzz, I think it's also because he's like at the time in Gen 1, he's a standalone Pokemon. It doesn't have any evolutions. And I like watching Pokemon evolve. It was always really exciting as a kid, but that was the first Pokemon that I saw that I wasn't too fussed, didn't evolve. I think that's why I liked him as well, because he didn't evolve. He was really cool. and I wasn't bothered that he didn't evolve. Obviously, he evolves now into Electivire, and he's evolves from Elekid. But at the time, I thought it was pretty great. So I just love Electabuzz. I think he's really cool, and he will always be in my top 6. Always. That's probably going to lose me a few, if people watch it later on, a few points with Pokemon fans, but who cares? It's my choices. I'm going to put, like I was talking about there, I'm going to put the other one in excellent because I really like him as a fire type. I'm not sure. I still prefer Electabuzz to Electivire as well. You would think he was to be a fighting type as well, Andrew. I think you're right. I think if you look at him, you'd think, yep, he's an electric fighting type, but he is just electric, isn't he, Electivire? Yeah, I think I prefer Electivire to Magmortar as well. And I like and I prefer Elekid to Magby, but I think only Electabuzz for me out of all those 6 get into the must-haves. There's got a team of 5, almost a team of 6, but there might be more than 6 in that top row. We'll see, because there's a couple of Pokemon coming up that I'm thinking, yeah, they're going to have to be must-haves. Disclaimer as well, guys, I'm not the biggest fan of legendaries. I never tend to use legendaries because, like Mewtwo and stuff. Because, well, to be first of all, when I got to Mewtwo, that's basically end game. You've pretty much completed it. So what I wanted to do immediately was start a new game. So I've never really used Mewtwo. So Pinsir. I think he has to go right beside Scyther. I think he's excellent as well. Bug Pokemon, the 2 best bug Pokemon, I think by far. Scyther and Pinsir. And again, just a really cool looking Pokemon. I think just a really cool looking Pokemon. So I'm going to put Pinsir here alongside Scyther. Right, what we got next? Tauros. Only to find him in Safari Zone. He's better now. Much better Pokemon now. But I think he's a high decent in Gen 1. I don't think many people stuck Tauros in their top 6. I don't know if many people considered putting him in the top 6. I think catch him in the Safari Zone, great for the Pokedex, and that's about it. Could be wrong, but from my experience, I've never heard anyone talk about Tauros, and I think mid is where he should be, personally. Right, we've got the GOAT. We've got Magikarp. Is that a must-have? No. I mean, no offense, Magikarp, but you're useless. Splash. I don't know what the running joke is with Splash. Why they did it. I've never really looked it up. Why they did it. Why it's a thing. But there we go. At least with at least with Metapod, if you use Harden, it at least makes him harder to kill. Magikarp gets tackle at level 19. Then evolves the next level. So it is pretty much just useless. Useless. Right. This one's a tough one for me. This one is a tough one for me. Gyarados is easily the best glow up for a Pokemon. To go from Magikarp into Gyarados is genius. I think when you get to Gold Silver, I think Red Gyarados tends to get into my team. I think Gyarados is very close to getting in my top 6. I'm going to wait and see because I've got one space left in my top 6, and then I'm going to decide if I would actually put more on my must-haves, or if I would swap maybe 1 or 2 out. This is the problem I have when I play Pokemon, is I can't decide on a final 6. I can never decide on a final 6. There's always a few staples, the ones that just stay, but like those first 4 in Gen 1, I think that would usually be my team. It's a nice spread as well. Water, fire, electricity, fighting. Hitmonchan is probably the one here that I'm thinking would possibly come out. Still need a flyer, and there's a flyer coming up that's a definite for me. So, we'll see. Lapras. I think I need to put Lapras into great. Or excellent. Again, it's another great standalone Pokemon. Doesn't evolve from anything. Does its own thing. But would I ever put it in my team? Before Tentacruel, before Blastoise, before Gyarados. No, before Cloyster. No. No, I think Lapras goes there for me. I think this is where Lapras goes for me. Now, that's an interesting one because it's technically every single Pokemon. But Ditto. It's hard to rank Ditto. It's hard to rank Ditto. Do I put him in great? But lower great? Because he can literally be any Pokemon. But obviously the drawback is he has to be your opponent's Pokemon, so you don't get to choose which Pokemon he is. He just becomes the Pokemon that you're fighting. Yeah, I'm going to put Ditto here. Mr. Mime will be very bottom of the great. I like to think that people joining late and see Mr. Mime, they're going to be absolutely raging, but I don't care. Okay, right, this one here. I'm going to put this one in excellent. And there's a reason why. I think it's a fairly obvious reason why. As a to fight, it's not excellent. However, the fact that you have so many options with it, the fact that you can basically catch one and then change it into anything, I think that's great. I love all the evolutions. I love how versatile this Pokemon is. I love that the fact that if I had, so for example, I've got this nice spread here, but if I didn't have like a water or a fire or an electric Pokemon, I just need to grab Eevee and I can change it into the type that I'm missing. And I think that's pretty great. I said great, I didn't say excellent. You're right, Wayne. Before or after Hunter? No, I think it goes top tier great. I think it's top great because of how versatile it is. But the only reason I don't put it in excellent is because I think some of the evolutions need to go in excellent. Like Jolteon. Told you I've got a thing for the electric Pokemon. So Jolteon would be further up here. As a backup electric Pokemon, I would put Jolteon. And I think that's why it has to go higher. I think Vaporeon maybe is it my least favourite of the three? Yeah, so I'm going to put Vaporeon, still great, I'm going to put it at a lower great. And then I'm going to put Flareon at a higher great. I'll put Flareon on par with, just better than Eevee, just purely because Eevee turns into Flareon. Oh, here's the top, sorry, here's the top of the tier list, my apologies. Here's our top so far. Only a few left, guys. Okay. Right. Porygon. That's not. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. I'm going to put that in decent. Don't tend to use Porygon. I don't think it's terrible. But I don't think it's anywhere near anybody's team, personally. I think it's just quite boring. Porygon. How about that? No, didn't really work, did it? Okay. Okay. Now an interesting one. We've got 2 fossils. 3 fossils coming up. Okay. The 2 first evolutions of the fossils are going to go in decent, but one's going to go slightly higher than the other. I'm going to put Omnite about there, and I'm going to put Kabuto a little bit higher. I think I'm going to put Kabuto here. Love you. Good night. And then I think I'm going to put Again, I'm going to put these two, Omastar and Kabutops. I'm going to put them in the same tier as well. But I'm going to put one slightly higher. And I think I'm going to put Omastar. I really like the fossil Pokemon. I'm going to put Omastar up here. And then I'm going to put Kabutops even higher. Kabutops comes very close to it. Look at him. He's freaking cool. Hitmonchan comes out, I think, at the moment. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to put more than 6 in my must-haves. Oh, pardon me. Here, right, this one's another easy one for me. Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl. It was always a tough choice between the Omanyte and the Kabuto, but if I was given a choice between the Omanyte, Kabuto, and Aerodactyl, I would immediately take Aerodactyl. No questions. Flyer, rock, brilliant Pokemon. Brilliant Pokemon. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that would be. Sorry, I'll put it up here. So Aerodactyl goes straight into our must-haves for me. I think that's a pretty strong-looking team, but I think I'm going to have to take one out. At least one legendary has to go in here, doesn't it? Yeah, I think at least one legendary is going to have to go in there. So we might have 7 Pokemon in our must-haves. Aerodactyl is cool. I love Aerodactyl. I love him. Okay. Next, we're Snorlax. A fan favourite for a lot of people. Again, I don't tend to use him, but I will admit he's pretty great. I'm going to stick him in great. And I'll be honest, I do kind of want Snorlax beanbag. It always looks so comfy. Whenever I see like a massive beanbag in the shape of Snorlax, looks comfy. Looks like, yeah, I would stick with Snorlax in great, I think. Right, here we go. The legendary birds. The legendary burbs. I love all 3. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that. One of them is going to go into a higher category, and I think that's going to be the must-haves. The other 2 are going to go into excellent. So, Articuno is going to be our first one in the excellent column. And I'm going to put it pretty high because I do like Articuno. Second one is going to go into the excellent column with the legendary birds. It's going to be Moltres. Lower down, I think. I don't think he's as cool as the other 2. And if you take the flames away, he's just a rubber chicken. It's literally just, imagine that right there without the flames. It's just a rubber chicken. An intimidating looking rubber chicken, but a rubber chicken nonetheless. And then lastly, the one that's going to go into our team, our must-haves, Zapdos. Like I've been saying, I like flying types and I like electric. I have a thing for electric type Pokemon, so that's why Zapdos goes into our must-haves. If I was going to take one of it, would it be Kabutops? No, Kabutops is so cool. Again, it's like Scyther, but just slightly cooler. For me. I just think they're really cool. Oh, dragons now. The only dragons in this set. The only dragons in Gen 1. Dratini. High decent. Dragonair. Great. High great. Dragonite. I mean, look at him. He's cool. He's so cool. And he's a dragon. I have a soft spot for dragons. He goes into excellent for me. I'm going to put him right next to Charizard. I think Sandslash is a bit too high in this list now that I'm looking at it. We'll put Sandslash down now. Yeah, I think that's my... Dragonite has to go in there, I think. And what do you think, guys? Should I leave it as 6 at the top, though? Should I take one of them out and sort of, when if people do go to the end, they just see must-haves my 6 team, or should I have it as the ones that I would potentially swap out? Because there's probably a few that I could bump up into that category. Sorry, I'm not high enough there. I could bump up into that category. I'm unsure though. We'll decide by the end. We've only got 2 left. 2 Pokemon left to rank. Mew and Mewtwo. Personally, I prefer Mewtwo. And Mewtwo would go into... Again, if I got him earlier in the game, I would have Mewtwo in my team. But the fact that you get him right at the end game in Gen 1, that's the only reason I wouldn't put him on my team, because, like I said, when I tend to get to the end game, I'm then starting again. And I'm not really using Mewtwo for much. Apart from maybe... No, because that's gold and silver, isn't it, with Mewtwo? Where you get to fight red at the end. So you don't get to use Mewtwo much in the game, and I think that's the only reason I wouldn't put him into my must-haves. Mew, I still think is excellent as well, but I'm going to put Mew down near the bottom of excellent. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put probably here. Yeah, I think we're going to go there, and that's us. All 151 Pokemon ranked, done. Woofed. Right, let's have a little look. Is there any I'm going to move about before I do a little quick scroll to let see everybody? I can't decide if I should have it 6 Pokemon or if my must-haves should just be my starting 6. Would be my final 6, sorry. What do you guys think? Should I have it as my final 6, or should I just have it as my... Because it's a tricky one. I think I should just have 6, shouldn't I? I think that's better. No, 7. I think I'll stick with 7. Yeah, I think we'll stick with that. There's not many team I would take to Elite Four. If I was taking a team to Elite Four, I think I would take... That would be... Kabutops would be out. And I would take a Legendary to the Elite Four to help me out. But I think, more or less, that would be my Pokemon for the Elite Four, yeah. I think it's a decent spread. I think I would maybe change out one for a Grass type, but... To be honest, the best Grass type here, I think, is probably Victory Bell, so he would potentially be up there, but that's just my favourite 6. Like, if I was to pick a 6, this would be it. I love these Pokemon. Electabuzz, Arcanine, Poliwrath, Machamp, Aerodactyl, Zapdos. Yeah. Or I would maybe swap Articuno for Zapdos, so that I've got a little bit of a different than me, so I would have... But if that was for my Elite Four, but this is me... this is purely my favourites. So I'm going to stick with the 7. Yeah, guys, so there it is. There you have it. My 151. Electabuzz, Arcanine, Poliwrath, Machamp, Aerodactyl, and then I would either Kabutops or Zapdos, swap them, interchange them to a few of these, and the Excellent could also potentially make my final 6 as well if I was to challenge in the Elite Four. But we've basically done this off of my personal favourites growing up playing the game, who I tended to go back to the most. So yes, that's my rankings. I'll do a quick little scroll here so you can have a little look. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you're watching this at a later date. Do you agree with my rankings? Is there any that you think I'm completely wrong about? Please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to hear what you guys think. But yes, is there any you completely agree with? Is there any other Electabuzz lovers out there? I don't think I've ever met anyone who likes Electabuzz as much as I do. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, thank you so much. Please leave it a little like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're watching this at a later date, we will do more of these, more ranking videos. We'll do movies, we'll do MCU, we'll do maybe even DCEU, we'll do my favourite games, we'll do maybe other Pokemon ones if you want to see other Pokemon generations ranked. Yeah, so I absolutely love this stream. I'm not going to lie, I had so much fun doing this. I absolutely love Gen 1 Pokemon. Easily still my favourite generation, and that's purely nostalgia. That's growing up with this, playing this game for over 20 odd years. I absolutely love it. It's phenomenal the staying power that this franchise has. But yes, and I just absolutely loved having a little chill stream, talking to chat, talking with you guys. Thank you, John. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think I will do more of these. I think it was a lot of fun, and it's also just, I think it just nice to have a nice little chill stream, talk to you guys, and have you guys talk to each other as well. Do a ranking during the 12-hour stream so I can be more in it. Absolutely, that was my plan. So yes, there will be a 12-hour stream coming up soon to celebrate hitting 500 subs. We will be doing Pokemon, so we'll probably start off. It's the most popular game on the channel at the moment, so to hopefully get more people in at the beginning, to hopefully spread the 12-hour stream, we'll start with Pokemon Violet, doing some raids, trades, and stuff like that. Then we'll move on to, I promised to do a horror game because I'm an absolute coward, so I'll figure out which horror game I'm going to play. I'll do some research into what games are actually genuinely terrifying. We will be streaming through the night, so I'll try and aim to play the horror game around about midnight as well. So we'll start the stream at like 8 o'clock at night and go until 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I'll make sure that the horror stream is right in the middle of that, so that it's as dark as it possibly can be. And then I will do a ranking, so we'll decide on what we're going to rank there as well. And then we'll probably end on a nice fun game as well, where I can recover from whatever horror game. Dead Space, I've heard the remake is amazing, but also terrifying. So that could be what we do. We could do Dead Space. But yes, our poll, let's have a little look at our poll before we finish up here as well. So favourite games seems to be the next one. So I don't know if this one, if favourite games would lend itself to this format, or if I should do that as a separate video, because I was thinking of doing like a top 10 countdown video, and it's hard to do that live. It's better if I'm able to edit it and like put in the game footage and stuff like that. So I think I will make my next ranking video will be my favourite games, and I'll do that as a video, and then all the MCU movies came next, so I'm sure that'll divide a lot of opinions. So I'll maybe do that one. That might be my next live ranking one, is MCU movies. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we'll do favourite games as a separate video. I might record that over the weekend actually, and then favourite MCU movies. Might try and do like a ranking stream once a month. It gives me time to kind of sort it out and stuff like that, because I still want to be playing the games, but I really enjoyed this stream. Love just sitting chatting to you guys, getting a chance to finally sit down and just do some rankings. I've always wanted to do this, but this is the first time I've actually properly had the chance. So yes, one little last scroll through if you've just joined. Here's what we went for. So these are my favourite Pokemon kind of growing up, and I've kind of not really steered far away from these whenever they pop up in a game, in a new game. These are the ones I would tend to choose. In our excellent column here, a few great, excellent, obviously that's why they're there, but there's a few in the excellent column that I could potentially have in my team that I would swap out each playthrough. But if I think if I was to play through the original games right now, those tops, there's technically 7 there. I would have to choose between 1 or 2. But at least the first 5 there would be my definites, and then I think I'd choose between Kabutops and Zapdos if I was to replay it at the moment. Yes, thank you so much guys for watching. Thanks for taking part. Thank you for all the chat and stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, thank you for voting in the poll. Thank you for all the likes. And thank you again for helping me reach 500. I'm still not quite used to the fact that we're at 500 at this point. But I just really appreciate it. And I'm loving getting to try new content for you guys, and I hope you really enjoy it. So thank you so much. Christers, thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Alchemist, hope the rest of your shift goes in really quickly. And keep an eye on the page as well for updates on the 12-hour stream and when we go live next. So next live stream will probably be next Tuesday, and it'll either be Pokemon Violet or Hogwarts Legacy. So, yep, thank you once again, guys, for joining, and I'll catch you in the next one. I don't know what I've done there. Have a good night to everyone. I'll catch you guys. SKAL!